I never thought I'd be the kind of man who pulled a trigger in his own backyard. But that's exactly what happened. Yeah, you heard me right. 1 second, I was yelling warnings into the dark. The next, a gunshot ripped through the air, and there's the HOA president, Martha Hargrove, screaming on my grass, her leg twisted up, her pink cardigan stained, and her precious clipboard somewhere in the bushes. And all of this because I refused to let some self-appointed neighborhood royalty push my family out of our home, because I'd rather go down fighting than hand over my keys to a bully with a badge and a smile you wouldn't trust to watch your dog for 5 minutes. That's how far it got. That's the shape tyranny takes in America these days, you know? Not jackboots and parades, but folks who call themselves community leaders and think your property is really theirs. My name's David Johnson, and when Anna and I first moved into Sunny Ridge Estates with our 2 boys, Lucas and Mateo, I honestly thought we'd found the dream. A couple of tired parents buying into that peaceful cul-de-sac fantasy. You know, the mailbox waves, the occasional bake sale, and a homeowners association that's supposed to keep the grass mowed and the Christmas lights reasonable. That's it. I figured HOA fees were just another bill, $50 for a newsletter and maybe a pamphlet on what color to paint your shutters. Boy, was I naive. At first, the HOA was almost a joke. Little letters about the grass being half an inch too long, or our mailbox being the wrong shade of blue. Anna would roll her eyes and we'd laugh, toss them in the recycling, and get on with our lives. But that laughter dried up real quick the morning a tow truck rolled up and tried to drag off my old sedan. Yeah, the one I'd driven to college and back. Not pretty, but it ran fine. 2 guys in uniforms hooked it up like it was some abandoned fridge on the curb. I called the police thinking, hey, the law's the law, right? Cop comes out, shrugs, says the HOA filed under some city code, tells me to keep it civil. My car comes back later, after hours of paperwork and a lot of attitude, but the damage was done. I was now that guy, the one who pushes back, the one who doesn't bow. And in Sunny Ridge, that puts a target right on your back. The real fireworks started on this muggy July night. Whole street goes dark, power outage, transformers fried. Except for our house. I've still got the old generator I bought after a couple of gnarly deployments. Hums like a champ. So our place is lit up like Christmas in July, and you better believe people notice. Next day, our elderly neighbors, Evelyn and Roberto, show up, looking half-wrecked. A tree's come down right through their living room. Their fridge is shot, and Evelyn's insulin is about to go bad. These are proud folks, the type who still iron their shirts and never ask for help. But there they were, standing in the rain on my porch. Didn't hesitate for a second. Brought them in, gave them a bed and cold milk and a little slice of normal. Felt good, you know? Like this is what neighborhoods should be. But in places like this, good deeds turn to gossip before you can say apple pie. Next thing I know, Martha Hargrove, pink sweater, pearls, the whole 9, comes marching up my porch. Clipboard in hand, eyes like she's sizing up a cockroach. We're holding an emergency HOA meeting here tonight, she says, like she's announcing the weather. And just like that, my family is supposed to clear out and let her turn my home into her boardroom. This is my house, I tell her. She just smiles, all teeth, no warmth. There will be consequences, she says, and struts off like she owns the block. From there, things got nasty. Another tow truck at dawn. Someone spray paints "Violator" in big red letters across my garage. Neighbors stop waving. I try to fight back the right way, file petitions, walk door to door, explain that the HOA can't just make up rules. I get a few nods, a couple signatures, but then Martha gets busy. Starts telling people I'm unstable, dangerous, maybe even a criminal. Suddenly, people cross the street to avoid me. Anna's face looks older by the day, and I start to wonder if maybe she's right. Maybe we should just pack it up and go. Then, out of nowhere, Roberto, the quiet old man next door, comes by with a 6-pack and a story. Turns out he's not just a retired construction guy. He's Detective Alvarez, 30 years with the city PD. And he's seen every dirty trick in the book. Don't let them win by fear, he tells me. Pick your ground and stand firm. It lit something in me. I started documenting everything. Setting up cameras, making a log. Because this wasn't just a petty feud anymore. It was open season. A week later, Martha comes back, not with a clipboard, but with a bat in her hands and 2 board Members carrying crowbars. I see them on my cameras, creeping through the side yard like amateur burglars. Open up, Johnson, she screams from the fence. The community has decided your house is ours tonight. I step out with my flashlight, my hand hovering over my holster, hard in my throat. You're trespassing, I say. She sneers. How safe do you think your family will be if you keep pushing us? She raises the bat toward the sliding glass door, right where Anna and the boys are watching. Something inside me just snaps. Threaten them again, I tell her, my voice shaking. And you'll regret it. That night ends with shouting, threats, but no blood. The next morning, they plaster my house with eviction notices, pure theater, but enough to make the neighbors gawk. People gather at the corners, whispering. And through it all, Martha struts like she's the queen of Sunny Ridge. Here's the twist. Late that night, a guy named Marcus, young dad from 3 houses down, knocks on my door, looks like he's seen a ghost. She's planning something big, he whispers. Tomorrow, if you don't give up the house, they'll remove you themselves. That was it, no more. Waiting. The next day, I marched straight into Martha's driveway, state property code in hand, and read it out loud in front of half the neighborhood. The HOA has no right to enter private property. Anyone steps on my land without permission, that's trespassing. You threaten my family? That's assault. For a second, you could hear a pin drop. But Martha isn't having it, calls me a liar, says I'm out to destroy the neighborhood. I snap. You fined Denise for her curtains. You threatened Joy over porch furniture. You tried to tow my car. This isn't community. It's tyranny in a cardigan. Gasps, nervous laughs, people actually starting to think. Suddenly, Martha lunges at me, but Roberto's there, faster than a man half his age, puts himself between us, voice like cold steel. Back off, Martha. You just crossed the line. And for once, she blinks. For once, the crowd actually sees her for what she is. But tyrants don't forgive humiliation. That night, just past midnight, the cameras pick up a mob, flashlights, bats, crowbars, Martha at the front like some twisted parade marshal. Anna calls 911, hands shaking, but I know the cops won't get here in time. I grab my flashlight, step out into the backyard, and face them down. Open the gate. Martha shrieks. Your home belongs to this community, not to you. You're trespassing, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Leave. Now. She just laughs. Not until you learn your place. And then she does it, raises the bat not at me, but at the glass behind me, at my family. Something in me just catches fire. I pull the gun, yell, drop it. Now. For a split second, the whole world just freezes. The neighbors watching from their windows, the crickets, even the air. And then Martha lunges. Gunshot. So loud it's like thunder cracking the world open. She collapses, screaming, the bat rolling away, and the whole mob scatters, just gone in an instant. I'm standing there, hands shaking, smoke curling from the barrel. Anna's dragging the boys away from the window, and Roberto's beside me, calm as ever, says, safety on. I nod, lower the gun, and wait for the sirens. Cops arrive in a swarm, Martha wailing like she's starring in her own soap opera. Attempted murder, she screams. But it's all on camera. Roberto backs me up, shows the cops every frame. Her trespassing, the threats, the moment I finally fired. The officers see it all, uncuff me, and Martha gets rolled into an ambulance, shrieking the whole way. She's not dead, but her range sure is. So that's where it ends, not with fireworks or a parade, just the echo of a gunshot and a neighborhood that'll never look at itself the same way again. Because sometimes standing your ground means crossing a line you never wanted to cross, and once you do, there's no going back. But I'll tell you what, I'd do it all again to keep my family safe. That's what makes a home worth fighting for. Or maybe I'm the villain here. You tell me. You ever had to draw a line in the sand you couldn't erase? Let's hear it. Where do you stand? Was I right? Was I wrong? Is this justice or just another neighborhood gone mad? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if you've ever gone head-to-head with an HOA, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories, because out here, the war for your front porch is just getting started.